Every solution derives from a problem. How one gets to that solution is a process. Let's take a look at a typical problem a designer might face and how it might be solved. Now, we're not going to be actually designing or creating anything for this stage. We simply want to understand how a designer would go about solving a design problem. We will walk through the process with the story of Jack the designer and his work for Peter's Pies. Jack works as a freelance web designer and illustrator. He receives an email one day from a gentleman that goes by the name of Peter. Peter owns his own specialty pie business.
Hello, Jack. I was referred to you by Jane at the Tulip Shop on 3rd and Broadway, and I really enjoyed the work you did for them. Currently, I run my own specialty pie business called Peter's Pies and would like to have a website built for the company, but I'm not quite sure how to go about this. I am a third-generation baker, proudly carrying on the traditions of our famous pie business that my grandfather founded back in the late 1930s. Please feel free to stop by anytime or email back. Sincerely, Peter.
Jack is super excited, and he's always wanted to design for a bakery. Jack then decides to move forward with the first step of the problem-solving process: prep. Prep is short for preparation. In the preparation phase, Jack needs to do two things. He first needs to understand the problem, and second, he needs to diagnose the problem. So, the key to a well-defined problem is understanding the nature of the problem and what information is needed to solve it. The exact opposite of a well-defined problem is an ill-defined problem. This is when there is a problem, but you just don't understand it. This is why it's important for Jack to understand the problem before moving forward. If Jack is not prepared, how can he find the right solution? In this particular project, the problem appears to be predefined. The client, in this case Peter, has asked Jack for a website. Now, just because Peter asked for this, it doesn't mean that this is the problem. Peter simply assumes that this is the problem because his sales are down. For Jack to understand the root of the problem, he calls Peter and they agree to meet up at the bakery. Jack has had meetings with clients many times before, as he's been doing this for over 10 years. Jack always keeps his conversations light and asks key questions without directly asking factual questions, like, who are your regular customers? Instead of, what's your target market? Jack really tries to get inside of the client's mind and thought process in order to really understand what the problem might be. When Jack read that Peter wanted a website, he was curious what made him come to this conclusion. The next day, Jack has trouble finding the bakery, so he shows up a little later than expected. When he walks in, he's greeted by the amazing smell of freshly baked pies. Jack is welcomed by Peter, who acts like they've known each other forever. Peter makes Jack feel at home by giving him a piece of his homemade apple pie.
Some pie.
This is the best pie I've ever had.
Mighty fine pie, isn't it?
Yes, it is. With pies like this, people should be lining up at the door.
Oh, gone are the days when people were lining up outside of my door to taste my world-famous pie. This neighborhood has changed, Jack. It's not the same as it used to be. Many of my customers have moved away. Some of my best customers have died. I don't know what to do, Jack. I need some help.
Well, Peter, I will do everything in my power to help you find success once again. But first I need some time to come up with a plan. I'll get back to you in like a week.
I look forward to it, Jack.
After the meeting, Jack begins to get a clear understanding of the problems and realizes what he has to do to fix them. First, the bakery is really hard to find. Second, there's no brand identity. And third, he needs to bring the experience of the bakery to the people. So Jack then begins to diagnose the problems. Well, the first problem was it was hard to find, so he needs to then make the bakery visible. Second, perhaps create a brand identity for the bakery. And third, he needs to convey the bakery visually through print and digital mediums. Jack is now ready to move on to his next step, the planning stage.